All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we are looking at a highly structured 60-minute track session designed to teach young BMX riders the absolute most explosive maneuver in the sport, the rocket start. You know, every BMX race, every dirt session, or even just a pump track lap begins with one secret weapon, and that is how you launch. It is literally the difference between chasing the pack and leading the race. So we're going to unpack a complete step-by-step coaching playbook tailored specifically for young riders, we're talking ages 6 to 15, to help them completely master this core acceleration skill.
I absolutely love starting with this quote from Coach Paulus because it just brilliantly illustrates our core goal here, turning jelly-like beginners into tightly coiled springs ready to launch. He reminds us that a truly great start isn't just about raw brute leg strength. It's about timing, body position, and above all, confidence. Think about it. The start gate can be an incredibly intimidating place for a young rider, right? The random delay builds unbearable tension. So our mission in this session is to replace that nervous wobbling with focused rhythm and explosive, controlled energy.
To get there, we're following a precise playbook. We'll start with the Rocket Start Challenge overall, then move through our phases, engage with Reaction Lightning, explore the silent gate, explain the biomechanics and fixes, and finally, elaborate on balance and detonation.
So, Part 1. The Rocket Start Challenge, preparing for liftoff.
This entire explainer is built around the proven 5E instructional framework, which honestly gives you, the coach, a perfectly clear mental map for teaching these young riders. The 5E model stands for engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. By breaking the 60 minutes down into these distinct phases, we make sure that the riders aren't just being lectured at. Instead, they're being physically and mentally guided through a really active journey of self-discovery, technical correction, and high-stakes practice.
Moving right into Part 2. Engage, Reaction Lightning. We kick off the session with a 10-minute engage phase. And what's fascinating here is that before the kids even touch their pedals, we start with their mindset. Because a fast start, it literally begins in the mind. Every rider worries about false starts or the loud, intimidating slam of the gate. So we gather them in a circle and introduce the mindset mission. We have them close their eyes and visualize a perfect explosive launch, 5 separate times. We want them picturing the countdown, the drop, and that crucial first pedal stroke. This lets their brain practice the whole sequence before their body even twitches, which is huge for managing pre-start nerves and building up that confidence beats hesitation mindset.
Next up, we actually get them moving with the Reaction Lightning drill to wake up their nervous systems. The setup is simple. Riders stand right beside their bikes, certified full-face helmet secure with one foot on the ground. Then, you, the coach, randomly drop a small object or just clap your hands. On that sound, bam, the riders have to instantly jump on their pedals, push forward exactly 1 meter, and immediately brake. We keep the pacing super fast, repeating this 10 times, and we make sure to switch which side of the body is facing the coach. Why? Well, it builds bidirectional auditory reaction. Throughout this whole drill, you're constantly reminding them that quick reactions come from listening carefully, not panicking.
All right, Part 3. Explore, the silent gate.
This is a 10-minute block where riders get to experience acceleration on flat ground without any technical overcoaching to bog them down. Notice we aren't using a mechanical start gate yet. We just set up a safe flat lane marked with simple chalk start lines. A helper or a parent calls out, 3, 2, 1, go. And on go, the riders launch, really focusing on driving that dominant foot forward. They execute 3 standing pedal strokes and then just coast. By running through this 5 times without a physical gate holding them back, they get to discover their own baseline stability and feel exactly where their balance works and where it completely falls apart.
Which brings us to Part 4. Explain, biomechanics and fixes.
Now that they've actually felt what works and what wobbles, we move into this 10-minute phase to break down the actual rocket science. The crucial point here is mastering 4 biomechanical keys. First up, body position. They need to stand tall but relaxed, weight slightly forward over the handlebars, knees bent, and elbows out, acting like shock-absorbing springs. Second is foot placement. The lead foot must be up on the pedal at the 2 o'clock position with the rear foot lower and ready to drive down. Third, timing the drop. They need to drive their arms and legs together like they're launching a slingshot, just a fraction of a second after the go signal. And finally, follow through, delivering 3 crisp, powerful standing pedal strokes before they even think about settling into their race posture. Of course, as a coach, you're going to see mistakes out there, and you need to correct them instantly with highly actionable commands. If a rider is pushing too soon, basically banging the imaginary gate, they are guessing, not reacting. The fix? Tell them to breathe, wait for go, and react. Stiff arms and back? That kills power transfer. The fix is elbows out, chest low. Treat those arms like active springs. If they sit down while pedaling, they lose all their initial power, so they absolutely must stay standing tall until that third stroke is finished. And if their eyes are glued to the ground, they'll lose balance for sure. Remind them to always look ahead to where they actually want to go.
Moving to Part 5, elaborate, balance, and detonation.
We transition into a 20-minute elaborate phase, and this is where we layer static balance control right on top of that explosive power. We do this with the balance and reset drill, which extends the skill into actual track acceleration. Riders bring their bikes to the start line and hold a static, ready pose. The entire group counts aloud together. Balancing first teaches them to relax before movement, which is honestly the secret every confident rider knows. But this entire drill relies on one massive, high-stakes rule before liftoff.
5. The riders absolutely must hold their static ready pose for 5 full seconds without their wheels rolling an inch. This forces them to stabilize their explosive power. Think about it. If they can't hold that potential energy perfectly still for 5 seconds, they're going to leak power the second the gate drops. It really teaches them that acceleration is just balance and motion. Too much push without stability, you're just wasting energy.
Now, what about the fifth E, evaluate? Well, instead of tacking it on as a dedicated block at the very end, we actually integrate it throughout the entire session. After the runs, we have riders call out a launch rating from 1, meaning heavy and wobbly, to 5, meaning super smooth and powerful. We prompt them with targeted self-reflection questions like, where were your eyes looking? Or did you sit down too early? They record these ratings and reflections right into their training diaries, which helps them track their progress and actively learn from their own physical feedback.
So, take this framework out to the track. Remember, a true rocket start begins in the mind just as much as it does in the pedals. Are your riders ready to detonate? I really hope this explainer has given you the structured playbook you need to find out. Keep practicing, keep evaluating, and watch that jelly wobble turn into pure explosive rhythm. So let me leave you with this. What's the very first thing you're going to change about your rider's next gate drop?